Start stream. Okay, there we are. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Getting set up. Going to start in a sec. Great to see you all. Familiar faces, unfamiliar faces, whichever you are. It's great to have you. I'm just going to make sure the stream has started successfully and we're okay tech-wise. Yep, looks like we're all set. If you're just coming in, welcome aboard. I'm Will Sebastian. I'm the founder of Be Profitable Trading Academy. I'm a multi-asset day trader, mainly FX, gold, oil, and global index markets. If you are coming on board now and you're serious about trading, go to the link underneath the stream. It says it on the banner. Also, please do press the like button. It's right there. And do ask a question if you can. Asking questions is the only way to learn. And I'm happy to cover anything and everything. Doesn't matter what it entails. Doesn't matter whether you think it's silly or stupid or not. Just ask it. Smash the boost button. Let everyone know it's a very, very helpful stream, which of course it will be. So I am going to give everyone a minute just to come in because I am just starting this. Now we're going to go over various assets. Gold is just absolutely smoked up. Told everyone to hold it long. I said it would dawdle slightly lower and then go long. So if you did all of that, you should have made loads of money, or you should have made money at least, and you should be out for gains. And you would have learned how to handle various assets very well. So I'm going to start off on gold. I am, like I said, going to let everyone join first. Okay. Just let everyone know we're covering gold because gold is something a lot of people like to go over. I am going to explain in depth just after everyone comes in. Like I said, if you are coming in, ask a question, press the boost. The boost button is either on the left or it's up the top right, I believe, if you're watching on a phone. Do tap it, do ask me something. If you're watching on YouTube, comment your question, ask me privately, press the like, subscribe to me on YouTube as well. I'll be posting there more. Good morning, Atir from Belgium. Seen you a few times. Hope you're learning well. Nice to see you. I'm sure lots of other guys will say hello. If you want to say hello, do feel free, guys. A lot more people coming in now. I know there's a lot of regulars who watch me on here, which is great to see. The more dedicated you are to learning, I mean, the free content that you watch from me will only get you so far. If you want my real plans, you need to go to the link underneath this stream now. That will help you out a lot more. I had an editor's pick as well lately, so I know there's a lot of new people who are coming on. Hey, Jason. Jason's a member of mine. Great to see you, Jason. I know you were long on gold, and I'm sure perhaps now you're setting an in the money stop, or trailing stop, and locking in those gains. Zach, I think you were also long on gold. Zach's also an Academy member. Perhaps you'll be locking in gains there. But we all didn't panic on our gold longs, which is the main thing. We saw it come slightly under where we bought. We thought, okay, well, we're not going to be right every time. We're right over time. And now gold has popped right up, getting to 1855 this morning. I think eventually you will get up here, but perhaps to be safe, you could set a trailing stop or something like that. Tons of guys coming in. I'll say it once more. If you're not on board, go to this link here. If you're serious, Zach and Jason are Academy members, and I'm sure there's other Academy members watching me. Lots of guys from the UK do because we're on the same time frame. If you can press the boost button, I haven't refreshed it yet, but if you press the boost button, that'd be great. Ask me a question in here because we're going to go over a lot of stuff. So that's enough. I'm going to begin now, and I'm going to do it on gold, like I was saying a minute ago. Gold, really interesting chart. I'm sure lots of you know the background from watching me, but you came up here, you came up here. Guess what? You came up here again for the third time, and all those guys sitting there saying, you know what, I'm going to buy, and I'm going to buy because it's going to break out. And it never does. You know, well, occasionally it does, but it's just completely the wrong mindset. If you've seen the price fall before, your bias needs to be short again. It makes absolutely no sense to be buying at these highs. Logically, it makes no sense in a long-term market. Economically, it makes no sense because no business buys high. Businesses always try and buy low because they need to make money. you trading on your trading broker is also a business. Believe it or not, you're just buying and selling, just like the baker down the road or the boulangerie, if you're in France, does as well. It's no different. So that is where you shorted. Hopefully you shorted. I said it was a short. I said it's going to come down like it has before. And we're almost back in line where you had on your first fall. And I should think in the long term, you'll beat this second one. Gold in the very, very long term will practically, as you've seen, always rise in value. So yes, this will break out at some point. Eventually, you will get up above these highs, just like you did here and there and all throughout history. Okay, gold, yes, it's going to break out one day, but you don't need to be that guy who guesses the exact date and time that gold is going to break out to the upside, because you don't know when that's going to happen. You may as well trade what you can see already, what's happened already, and short, um, in line with the previous market. I'm just going to, I don't think you can change the stream name, or can you? I might change it and put gold in the title, because a lot of guys want to see gold. No, I can't do that, I don't think. Maybe after the stream. Anyhow, lots of guys coming in, lots to cover. So gold, obviously you came down. We're going to look a little bit more nearer term. I said again, you've got a new forming downtrend, okay? And you can take it from the last two pokes up, two highs. If you were to draw a parallel line, it would look slightly different to what you can see now, which is why I let computers draw them for me. It's a lot easier. Okay, and herein lies another lesson. There would have been people who looked at it like this. In fact, what I'll do is I'll draw a channel. Where are we? We always have trouble finding the right tools because there's so many of them. Don't get me wrong, it's helpful. And like I said, I always have the computer draw my channels for me. I don't know if I've gone over it already, actually. It's normal. I don't know if it's been moved. Perhaps someone in here knows exactly where it is. Or maybe I'm just being blind today, I don't know. Can't see it in there. Or is it up here? Is it up here? Yes, it's up here. Why are channels parallel? That is how they are in the market, okay? But this is your Bob Robbie. I've seen you for a while as well. I'll cover the pound Swiss in a minute. This is exactly the same as what I was saying up here. Look, you get your high and it falls. You get your high and it falls, high and it falls, high and it falls. Well, what happens here? Okay, because you'll know, I last said on Friday, I think, or Thursday, that if you look on your daily, you can see this. I said, oh, they need to change those lines. I said here, didn't I? I said it's going to dawdle slightly lower. Lots of you would have seen me say that. I said it's going to dawdle to 1804, 1805. It didn't. It dawdled to 1810. I did say, nonetheless, all of this is a long zone. It has since gone up. But, and here's the big but, and this is why I bang on about it all the time. Your breakout traders would have shorted this. And guess what happened to them? If you know what happened to them, put it in the chat box. Okay? What happened to people shorting because it broke out? I'll let you guess. Okay? Breakouts don't work from a logical and an economic perspective because you're always going to be selling where people are buying. Okay? Always. Every breakout practically is going to be sell position where the market is getting long, or a short position where the market is buying. Okay? So in other words, if the price has fallen, it's too late to sell. You should be buying. If the price has risen, so I think I mixed up my words. The price has fallen, you should be long. The price has risen, you should be short. It shouldn't be the opposite, okay? And you can see that's what would have happened to your breakout traders. And the same thing happened here, remember? Okay? And here, they see these little pokes out of their channel that they've drawn inadequately, like this. They all went long. And naturally, buying highs never works. It won't ever work. Okay, so if you're a breakout trader, stop doing it. Okay, I talk about this in my free training a lot. And it's the same there. That's why gold breakouts don't work. Any breakouts don't work because, you know, you're going to be shorting into a long zone. It's fact. Okay, that is a fact. There's no other way about it. You should be buying at these points. Okay, this will happen all the time. Most people don't know how to draw trends and trend lines anyway. But going forward, I'd said you're gonna stop in the middle. I thought that might happen because of your higher time frame resistance, albeit weak. Okay, you've got a little bit of it. You just move that. You can see if you look to the left, there's small candle wicks. I think ultimately you'll retrace higher to 1884. If you did have it long, I would consider locking in gains. I know lots of my academy members will think about doing that. I don't think it's going to fall particularly soon. I think you're going to get slightly higher. It will probably stall around this 1862 area. Particularly if you're an academy member like Zach, Jason, or whomever's in here, ask me on private message exactly what you want to know because I can explain in academy terms. Okay, it's just a bit more fair for those who paid me. I'm going to go on to the other charts in just a second. So thanks for asking the questions, guys. I hope that makes sense in regards to gold. I think you're going to get a swing move up near 1880. This is showing you that there isn't weakness to drop it. If you do drop, I think you'll stop here, 1833. So you could lock in gains perhaps under 1845 if you took it long lower, which I'm sure many of you did. So well done if you held your nerve, you didn't panic, you knew how to handle the drawdown should it keep escalating, and all things were fine. So I've got pound Swiss and I've got pound dollar. You have a look. So I'm just going to run over the pound Swiss really quickly. Don't think it's massively important at this point, but I know the person watching has been here for a while. So pound Swiss has been very predictable since last year, practically a year. If you'd bought it at these lows every single time, you would have made money. Technically, this is a long. I think you're running a gamble on how long this lasts. I think eventually you'll come under. So I wouldn't be particularly attracted at trading the pound Swiss. In very short terms, it's a tech long, but I would just rather trade so many other things. It's just ugly. And that's a simple answer. Hi, Sebastian. I know there's a lot of people from, I learned this because I had a German member. He called me Sebastian. I said, you can call me Will, don't worry. We're on personal terms now. You're in my academy. You can call me Will. A lot of guys call me Sebastian. My first name is Will or William. But I think depending where you are in the world, people are addressed by their second name. I sort of knew that, but I didn't think in particular countries that was the case. But if you call me, you can call me Will on a first name basis. I'm long on the pound dollar, despite the weakness of the pound. I think it's time for dollar weakness. Um, yeah, I mean, well, the final part of the question, is it worth the return on investment or would it be better a different pair? So I would say your dollar pairs particularly have the largest drag at the moment to the downside. Um, and I think you're right, it's going to be time for dollar weakness. All I would say is if you look at these pairs, we did call it long there and hopefully you exited and change your bias in line with my latest Academy video where it showed you how to do that and exactly what to do. If you're a paid member, go and watch it. If you're not, go under the stream. I think it's time for dollar weakness, but I don't see it in this pound pair immediately. I think you can easily get lower. This is why risk management is so important because if you can't use risk management methods, this is not going to work for you. But I think ultimately you could easily get to the levels that I've just drawn to the downside. Okay. They are long. Everything that's against the dollar, the euro dollar, etc. Okay, I like long, but I don't know particularly if you're going to get that just yet. The euro, for example, I would wait until this level of support, 1036. I've got orders there myself. Um, and your pound, I think you'll get lower at least 119 eventually. So I wouldn't buy it just yet. I do think they're longs. I do think you've got good potential upside. The only problem for me is the immediate reaction here, okay? Because you've attempted to pop up twice and it just hasn't worked. If you look back to where the market previously fell, you'll notice it looks very similar to that, okay? These really small, weak pops that never come to anything. Okay, so that's why I say that. And that's why I like using early price action methods like I teach, because it gives you a little bit of an inclination, it gives you a little bit of an indication of what's to come. And you can see it just coincides with your earliest moving average as well, okay, which will, it helps you get the idea for a really steep downtrend. Price will always struggle to get past the early MAs. It'll pop between the 20 and the 40. That's why it's ideal as a hedge zone. I'm just going to say as well, if you are just coming in, please do press the like button. As I said, I haven't refreshed it. That's why there's only two. I'm sure lots of you are liking it now. Please do press that if it helps you. And if you are interested in trading professionally like myself, alongside myself and my Academy members in my enormous video library and mentoring series, you get 3 months of mentoring when you join. With a link underneath, it's right there. People always ask me, how do I get on board after I just tell them how to get on board all the time. So hopefully we won't get one of those today. If you feel like typing that, I, just remember I just said the link is underneath, and it does say it throughout the whole stream as well. So hopefully it's not missed. Oil. I called oil long. I'll show you where I called it long. I called oil long over here, in line with this mega support. I'm sure many of you bought it. Up here, you could have exited. I think there's potential for another push to the upside. You could have taken gains. You would have got about $4 for every barrel you bought with leverage. I'm sure you didn't buy them individually. In real life, I mean. Nonetheless, I think you will retrace further. It doesn't look particularly strong to the upside, but you're not falling very quickly either. I don't think it's done yet, and I'll exit for hedge gains on any further pushes. I see a thank you in the chat box, no problem. I think you'll up here at least, and I'll probably kill it off about $88.50 on my long from 83.5, I think. So $5. It's my predetermined exit. So yeah, has anyone got any more questions? Of course, do ask. Anyone who's concerned with the FTSE, I'm short. I like the FTSE short. I shorted it just as the weekend closed. If you follow me and if you watch my streams, you'll know I said it's long there. I'm sure many of you can remember me saying that on Tuesday or Wednesday. It's on the stream. Go back and watch my stream. It's on there. I said it was long. I killed my longs off on Friday afternoon. I was out for long gains. I am now short. It dipped down today. I didn't take it. I think it's going to struggle slightly, but I think you'll get a bit lower, and I'll kill it off for gains again. It was this that did it for me. I've got further short orders here. Okay, that's why it's good to trade long and short all the time, because you can take the whole spectrum of global index markets. That's why I trade them mostly. I started trading the CAC, the French stock market as well. I was short on the CAC Friday in minor gains. Again, I don't think it's going to hold. I think all global indexes, futures markets, all of it is going to come down eventually. Your S&P looks quite weak as well. You don't have much market news, and it's a lot like oil. This I like it long at this support. So if you get down here, that is where I like to buy the S&P. Same with the FTSE, same with the CAC. They're all just drifting down. But the global economy sucks. A lot of people can't see that for some reason. I mean, if you look to all the financial hits that the world has had, okay, you'll notice if you pay enough attention, right, that it all coincides. So there's COVID 2020, and you go back to the financial crisis, okay, you notice, and then you've got your dot-com bubble. You'll notice it takes 8 years. It takes the financial crisis ends in 2012. It takes 8 years. We haven't had 8 years, but this was a big exception because what came after it was an enormous steep rally. Okay, so I don't treat COVID as a reset at all. You can already see the cracks appearing. I think longer term you'll come down here. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I think next year everything, and I'm just going to say this, it doesn't mean I'm just shorting it only. I think everything is going to get absolutely wasted. And it's just because interest rates high now, people already have no money to spend, and you've got another year of them staying the same in a lot of places. It's just going to liquidate people, especially in the UK. I know loads of people who are doing this. Um, let's have a look, Jason. We'll check over dollar CAD. I'm in gains on the dollar CAD as well. Good work. I'm glad. I'm sure you shorted it somewhere along here like I did. And you wanted to hold to 136,560, which you would have gone past already this morning. Let me know. I presume you didn't exit it. I would have thought your target would be lower, that's all. I mean, anything can, like you say, do you have a trading stop? Well, if you've got gains from, you have to let me know your entry. But yes, I would place one above that candle wick. It's a good idea to refer to higher time frames, however, because if you look on your higher time frame, you'll notice that you're actually at support. So really, you should be closing it now. You probably should have closed it exactly as you said at 560. That was a really good exit. I would only scrutinize that slightly by noticing this candle wick. Okay. The reason why the price is stalling now is because of this. A lot of people can't see that when they trade. But that's why you're getting rejection now. So I would exit it because you're at a long zone. If you wanted to put a trailing stop in, you should have done it like here and wherever you took it long. The short, sorry, I guess. I would just exit it now. Think you'll come under this. It doesn't look pretty, but just take the money. You're out. You've got the money, and I would start to look long, lower, underneath. And you should be done with your short side. The reason why is, like I said, you've got all this support to get through. So you may as well be trading it long and taking gains on the support while it's there. Yes, you might get down here eventually, but you've got to deal with all of this first. And you can make money dealing with those positions. So I would trade it long. Of course, I would do it lightly because those areas of support are early on. Like I said, it can get down here. Does that make sense? If it doesn't, I know you're an Academy member, so just ask me on DM in detail because I can go over it in detail. As you'll know, I'm sure you're learning a lot. Like you said, you gave me a review on this chat box. That was very handy. And you've referred a friend as well. So good stuff. I'm glad you're learning well. But any other in-depth questions, just ask me on DM and we can go. Okay. So the yens, I did a post on this. You had intervention, or what looked like intervention at least. Popped the price down, it completely failed. But what you are getting is pressure to the downside now. So there's cracks and creaks in this like this. It wouldn't shock me. I'd be very wary trading it. I would only do it in light sizes just in case. Nonetheless, anything up here is a short. Anything down here is a long. Okay, because you've already seen the price bounce once. You know people are buying at that point. That is where you should be buying as well. The euro, like I said, I think you'll get lower. Just look at that early PA. You touched on to your early moving averages. Where the drawings aren't exactly pretty, but I think you get the point. You touched on to these early MAs, okay, your 20 MA. You know it's still facing strong selling to the downside, and that's where it's going now. Okay, so be wary of that. That's your euro, gold. Like I said, I'm holding out on it. Is there any other questions anyone's got? Any markets they want to look at? Swiss yen, I don't think you're going to fall immediately. I'd be careful if you're shorting this. Many of you will have been shorting it for a while. I have. I've bought it for a while as well. I think you might get higher 1646. Okay, 25 minutes we've been on here. Has anyone got any questions about anything? Please make your voice heard and I can cover whatever it is. I don't normally cover cryptocurrency, but since I'm sat here, I can tell you it's still boring, still not interested in trading it. Had a lot of people getting rather upset about my Ripple post because on my Ripple post, and I will go over this just because it's something everyone needs to know. I said, what was the date? July the 17th, I saw the impulse and I said, guys, look, it's going to fall. Everyone's going to exit. Larger money's going to take it down and boom, down it comes. There's 85 comments, 39 likes, thousands and thousands and thousands of views because people get so upset in the comments. They get so angry because suddenly they realize, wow, I would have loved Ripple to keep going, but they don't understand that what they feel about something happening is different from reality. I'm sure we'd all like Ripple to go up. I know there's many of you sat here who are dying for gold to just race to $1,880, but the market doesn't worry about what you feel, how much you want that to happen. The market works on other people, okay? Trading collectively. So I said it was short. If anything that rises extremely quickly always comes down practically all the time because it's like an equilibrium. It's like when it rains, the clouds suck the water up in vapor, goes to the clouds, they've got to empty. The clouds can't fill with water forever. They have to empty. It's the same thing. It's a factual inevitability that if you've had all the buying, you've got to have people liquidating. If no one ever liquidates, the price goes up forever. But equally, nobody makes any money because you have to sell your position to profit. Okay, so like I said, a market doesn't work with one side buying only, which is why all these people are talking nonsense. Because they're all saying if you look at the charts, you can just see it's going to $30. I don't dispute that it could get to $30. I don't dispute it at all. Maybe it will. But there's no good sitting here wishing your life away, waiting for it until you're 100 years old and you can't even spend the money anyway, right? So yeah, there's nothing factual about it anyway. You're just guessing. You're just basically the people in the comments there are just saying what they would like to happen, not reality. It's what they want to happen, and that's a problem. That is why people lose money. But anyhow, back to dollar pairs. I think your order's going to go lower. I'm not interested in trading it really, maybe lightly long. I think this New Zealand dollar is going to struggle. Look at all the resistance in line with this. No surprise, I think that's going to struggle. Don't think your dollar weakness is over just yet. I think the global economy is suffering and slowly getting worse. And I think it's going to be up to people who know what they're doing versus those who do. If you're someone who is struggling trading and you want to get what works, the link is there underneath, as it says on the banner. So I'm going to leave a minute for questions. Has anyone got anything that they would possibly want to expel from their mouth so that I can help them learn? Okay, if you're trading silver, I think you'll get slightly lower as well, by the way. FTSE coming down. You can see on your weekly there's weakness. I'm going to hold out on the fall, hopefully a bit more today. There's not really any news today, and Tuesday, I'm afraid, no news. Wednesday, Thursday, it goes on. But that is just how trading works. There will be no news. Eventually, then there's news, the market moves. So being prepared for it being in the market beforehand is ideal. A lot of global index markets do algo trade like your FTSE. So that's why I'm holding it short, because it's likely just to go boop, 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 all day slowly. No problem, and no problem to the thankers in the chat box. Atir, maybe we'll see you on board at some point. I know you've been here a few times. Anyone else who follows me a lot, like I said, you can watch me for free for a long time, but I'm afraid unless you have the exact risk plans I'm using, you will not make money. Okay. The reason why I do the streams is to give everyone a basic view so they can learn a bit about trading. If you want to take to the next level, you've got to have my 150 videos or so, however many there are, because it just breaks everything down, every part of my method, and it works as a machine. Of course, you can ask me for 3 months what I think about anything and everything. I can draw you answers, I can speak you answers. You won't get left behind, as many people know. So 31 minutes I've been on here. There's still a lot of guys in here. I can't see any questions in the chat box, surprisingly. Has anyone got any questions regarding trading in general? It doesn't particularly have to be a chart. You know, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. You can ask away. I'll re-upload this to YouTube as well. But no, I still can't see any questions. I'll probably update my posts and probably do a couple of videos and get back to trading myself and running my other academies as well as my trading one. So I can't see any questions, guys. For that reason, I'll probably end the stream. If this has been helpful, please do press the like, it helps me a lot. I got an edits pick on my stream before last week, so smash the like button. Oh, question. Great. I'll do that, and then if there's no more after that, I will be off. Dollars are South African rand is a short. Be a little bit careful trading it because that's what it looks like immediately. I think it will come. I think a lot like the Swiss yen, it will come down and down and down and down eventually. My bias on the rand is short, but just be careful if you're trading it. I would only very lightly short it. It can be volatile. But I think the dollar will lose value against it almost certainly over time because it's come up and up and up and up. Cast your mind back here, there, okay, and there. It's infrequent, but you haven't had it for a few years. Ultimately, when the price comes too high, whoosh. It's like a wave. Look, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. What's coming? Okay, it begs the question. Is having 1-to-1 RR better than 1-to-2 and so forth? It's a weird question, I know. Many of you will know I don't do R2Rs because they're practically, well, a lot of people just take that based on what they'd like to happen. Again, it's a lot like Ripple. You know, I don't use stop losses either. So generally your answer is I don't trade that way. I guess if you've got, you know, what you have to remember is it's a lot like betting on horses and things like that. If your risk is 1-to-1, you need to know your probability of success, but you never know your probability of success in the markets. Nobody can tell you what percent chance you've got of making money. That's why I don't use risk reward. I have a maximum drawdown set for every single asset, and I take lots of smaller gains within that asset over time. And it's always changing. I think that's a much better way to trade just because anyone can say, look, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put my stop loss here, put my win here. But, yeah, okay, so this is a good example, really, isn't it? 1937 to, let's say, let's just make it easy. And let's go for 23.7. Okay, up there. Good question, actually. It's roughly right. Okay. And then what do we want? We want straight down there, which is almost in line with support. So you've got an equidistant fall or rise. So that's 1 to 1. You're either going to lose one part that way or win one part that way. Now, the problem with this is how do you know the chance of that happening versus that happening? How do you know the probability? The answer is you don't. If you're in a casino knows the probability of you winning on any roulette swing. Okay, they know if you spin the table, the 2.76% chance they've got. You don't know the probability of this. So therefore, your return versus your probability can't be calculated. And that's why I don't do it. If you look at betting markets, many of you will know I've made over £100,000 betting mathematically with the similar principle. But you can work out on markets the probability of you winning based on what you're risking. That's how you make money betting, because you take value bets. But in the markets, you can't be told the probability of this occurring. You don't know what the chance of you losing money versus making money is at any time. You can guess, but you never know. It's the same thing with the fall here. But naturally, if you put the reward up, the probability normally goes down because you're waiting for a further move. Okay, so regardless, 1 to 1 is more likely to happen than 2 to 1, which is more likely than 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1. So at the end of the day, it doesn't even matter. Your risk could be 0.1 to 1. Okay, it's much more likely, but the win is smaller. So it doesn't matter anyway. I suppose that's the main point. It doesn't matter what risk reward you set. I think it's a farce in general. I don't think it exists. I think it's a scam. I think the whole trade like a casino thing is completely flawed. And the reason why is simple. If you go to a casino, they're not going to let you put £1 billion on red, because if you happen to win the spin, you'll put the casino out of business. So it only works when you know the probability of the outcome for a start, and on top of that, you're risking the right amount. Trading like a casino doesn't work unless you've got those two factors. Okay, but you don't ever know the probability. So people who tell you to trade like a casino usually don't know what they're talking about, because if you do that, you'll lose money. It's as simple as that, because you never know the probability of success. So that's my answer. Within my portfolio, I've got a set drawdown per asset and a set drawdown per portfolio. So I know my exposure. And like I said, if I'm never risking the farm, I can't lose all my money. In the same way, a casino will limit your stakes. Bookmakers, when you bet on a horse, they'll limit your stakes, okay, because they know they can't survive a loss as big as you're presenting to them. So all the mathematics, all the statistics is right up my alley. That's what I teach people. That's what I talk about all day. I can tell you that's the answer. A higher reward is naturally tied to a lower probability. It doesn't matter whether it's 5 to 1, it's 5 times less likely to happen. So it doesn't matter what your ratio is at the end of the day. I hope that's a detailed example. I should think that's probably as in-depth as you could possibly be explained to about how risk to reward works in trading. We'll probably title that on the stream. So I think with that, that was a good question, Phantom FX. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. So I'll re-upload this to YouTube. If you're serious about trading, the link is underneath. It's right there if you want to learn much more. Thanks for coming. Press the boost button. I haven't refreshed it. I'm sure many of you have boosted it. Do smash the boost button. We've gone over loads. Sure, it helps. And of course, like I said, if you're someone who wants to learn to trade, you're sick of losing money, and you want to learn more about the statistical variance of markets, my strategy is exactly that, I guess. Thanks to Jason, Zach, and whomever is on board my academy for coming along. Like I said, if you've got academy questions, don't forget you can just get me on DM and I will help you out with those. Do stay up to date as well with my TradingView profile because I'm going to post a bunch of charts today. I think maybe I'll do one on the ZAR since a lot of people are interested in that. Um, so that's Monday morning. Let's trade throughout the week, see where we get. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. See you there, guys.